Welcome to a new video on the series Moodle Mashov. How can you help your learners learn and be assessed? So how can I help my students learn? First of all, I have to provide them clear instructions as to what I want them to do. And then I can assess what they do too. This is what I have added this week so that my students learn and are assessed. The first one is a writing task. This is an assessment. I have added it because I have taught Mr. Noel, and now I expect my students to do something related to this. I want my students to practice listening comprehension. Since uploading a sound file is not a good idea because it's a heavy file, I have used Moodle URL in order to link this to another site. I have done the same with this reading comprehension task. I have used Moodle URL in order to put a link to another site. And I have also created a quiz, a Moodle quiz, that is made up of a reading comprehension text and a listening comprehension text. So how did I do this? I turned the editing on. Notice that if I click here now, it'll be off. And I use that in order to upload this stuff. Let me show you first of all the Moodle URL. As you can see, you can change the name by clicking on the pencil or else by clicking on Edit Settings. Edit Settings allows me to see all the settings for this Moodle resource. Having added Moodle URL, I gave it a name, I copied and pasted the link, I provided an explanation here on the rich editor so that it could be displayed on the course page and so that my pupils could see it. In appearance, I placed it in a pop-up and I allowed it to be shown on the course page. I could have hidden it if I wanted to, but I did not want to. And when I've finished writing all that, I simply saved and returned to course. As I said, this reading comprehension stereotypes is also a Moodle URL. Even though you see a different icon here, it is because the icon changed because it took the icon off the site where I took this from. But the link that I provided was to another site. And now let's see a writing task. Having taught Mr. Noel, I've asked my students to write something, and they have to choose either option 1 or option 2. Notice that I know that I have 35 pupils in this class and 15 have already submitted the task. I can view their submissions and grade them anytime I want. Notice that this is the due date. But what if I want to change that due date? Remember, there's always Edit Settings, and that is the place where I will change whatever I want. Edit Settings brings me to the same screen that I see when I want to add anything on Moodle, any activity on Moodle. For example, here I'm updating the assignment, but when I add an assignment, it will read add assignment to whatever. The instructions appear on this dialog box on this editor. Remember that you have a lot of options. And here's the interesting thing. I may decide to display the description on the course page or not. In this case, I have not. I could have added a file if I wanted to. The availability. I created this task on February 2nd, but I just made it visible last week. The due date is March 18, but I may want to change it so that I give my pupils a little bit more time. Let's change it to March 22. I can leave the hour and the minutes. If I want to enable a cutoff date, I will have to click on this box, but I'm not going to do that. The submission types that I have allowed are 2. I may I have allowed file submissions and online text. I forgot to change the number of maximum uploaded files per student, so I'm going to do it now. I will allow pupils to upload 2 files because maybe they want to write a bit more than I told them, or maybe they want to add 2 documents, for example. Now they can also submit by online with an online text. The things that I can change, for example, the grades, the maximum grade is of course 100. I could have added a scale, but I'm going to keep it as simple direct grading, and that's it. I'm not going to change any of the other things. And to make the changes available, I will click on Save and Return to Course. Now I am back in the course. So how do I know how my students see this? Well, once again, what I have to do is turn editing off. And since I made all the items here visible, I know that my students can see them. How do I know that they are visible? Because they are blue, you see? Notice that these items are not visible to my students. It says hidden from students, and they come in color gray. This means that my students cannot see them. But I have another alternative. I want to see the course as my students see it. I go here and I switch role to student. I click on student, Talmid. Now I can see the course as my students see it. You see no difference here because everything was not hidden. But notice this. Writing activities is hidden. Mr. Noel is not available, not available. It means that my pupils know that I have uploaded stuff here, but they cannot see it. And notice that it says Talmid because I've taken the role of a pupil. To return to my normal role, I simply click here, and that's it. Thanks very much for your time and goodbye.